Turmoil for the Atari 2600. What I have here is a bootleg release from former Canadian discount store Zellers that was released exclusively in Canada in the early 1980s. Unlike a lot of games that Zellers had put out, the actual name of the game that this particular cartridge is knocking off is also called Turmoil, originally released in 1982 by 20th Century Fox. Yes, back in the day, 20th Century Fox released video games for public consumption. But so what, so did Purina, not that big a deal. Anyway, Turmoil. 'Tis a game where you shoot things. My favorite kind of game. Turmoil is actually fairly straightforward. You control your little craft thing in the middle and basically move up and down to shoot things that will attempt to kill you. Sometimes there will be these orb things you can collect for bonus points, but get them quickly or else they will turn into an invulnerable deadly projectile of death and despair. My favorite kind of spare. Wait, what? Turmoil, for all of its simplicity, is actually lots of fun, with rapid fire capability, 9 skill levels, and a variety of enemies that require slightly different tactics to eliminate, such as the tanks that can only be killed from behind. Turmoil is one of those classic cases where you just pick up a controller, sit back, and get into the game in seconds flat. And control is pretty solid and responsive, given how quickly you can glide your ship along the screen's 7 corridors, and move along those corridors to pick up bonus points and stuff. Turmoil's actually not a bad looking game. The layout is fairly straightforward and clean looking. There's a variety of enemy craft to contend with, some of which look fairly detailed by 2600 standards and others not so much. Everything moves about smoothly and swiftly. The intermissions between waves actually give me a bit of a headache. Or a seizure, but I guess I'll live. It's colorful at least. As far as sound effects go, they're your usual fare of Atari-ish laser blast and explosion-y kind of sound effects. Not much else to go on in regards to sound, but the same could be said for any Atari video game released around the time. Some games have exceptional sound, some games have crap sound, but the majority of them have fairly average sound quality, and Turmoil's sound department definitely fits that bill. Overall, Turmoil is one of those Atari 2600 video games that doesn't seem like much on the surface, but is actually a damn fine game in its own right. What little it does extremely well, and is enough to get you hooked for a good long while. It's simple, it's superb, it's fun, it's Turmoil, and it's a worthwhile addition to any Atari library.